respond, please?
Yes, of course you can, mate. Of course you can.
Please. So, you get me? I'm sending love to the Arsenal fans in the chat because there is an agenda against Arsenal and we all hate you because we have a football opinion. Mo took it to the absolute extreme by saying 150 million for Rodri. No one is saying this. I watched what Lee Judges says, someone that all three of us respect. You know what Lee Judges says? Guys, we just lost the league. We finished second 3 years in a row. Why can't you just uplift the fans? Gyokeres has been shaking his ass for Arsenal. Your first signing in the summer should be, let's go get Gyokeres now and excite everyone again. Because Arsenal fans are not excited. This is simply the truth. So there are three things that are happening for Arsenal right now. I praise one of the three things. I agree. I think Norgard is an upgrade on Jorginho. So I agree with this. I think he's a very good player. I praised the Zubimendi signing. If I think Kepa is shit, I'm entitled to that opinion. If I think Sesko is shit, I'm entitled to that opinion. We are entitled to criticize certain signings and praise certain signings. Just like, and this is what proves that I'm showing the same energy, my club were linked to Sesko before even Arsenal were. Before the Arsenal-Sesko thing even happened this summer, Liverpool were linked to Sesko. I was saying about my own club, I would not take Sesko. I was saying about my own club that I think that he is simply a Slovenian Darwin Núñez, and I'm entitled to have that opinion because he just is not someone that excites me. I think he's an athlete more than a footballer, and I don't rate him. So I'm entitled to have that opinion. And at the end of the day, there might be someone in the chat who does not rate Norgard. There might be someone in the chat who thinks that Norgard is not a good player. Like, it is what it is. Not everything is hatred. By the way, I could say the same thing about my club. Have you seen some of the reactions? Oh, Shark is better value for money. Frimpong can't defend. Gyokeres wasn't the best left back in the league. Robinson was. By the way, you know who Sam Isak is injury prone. So if you sign him, that doesn't guarantee that you win a league. We've seen it for all clubs. Guess what? Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, three biggest clubs in England. Everyone hates these.
No, but you're not hated. You're not hated, and you're.
Oh, we're not hated at all. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you the reality. Hold on, Terry. I'm gonna tell you. They literally said that Florian Wirtz is the 10th most expensive signing. Reality is they actually reported the total package for everyone else, for Caicedo, for Rice, for everyone, but they didn't report it for Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz, the total package is the most expensive signing, is the British record for transfers. That's who said that? It's not Footy Judge Mo. It's literally transfer market and every single one. You just go and look at the transfer value and that's it. They didn't do this for Liverpool. They did it for Chelsea. They did it for Arsenal. They didn't do it for Liverpool. That is the whole point.
So what does this mean? Okay, what's your point?
You just said that people hate Liverpool as much as they hate Arsenal and Man United. I'm from outside and I'm
so when Liverpool and City were going for a title race before Arsenal were even involved, yes. Terry was doing content and he'd tell you at the time, the conversation was, please City win the league, save football.
I didn't mention Terry here. But I didn't mention
Terry. No. So this shows that Liverpool are
hating. Terry's not the media by himself.
No, but there were literally Palace fans, there were literally Newcastle fans, there were literally fans of clubs that have nothing to do with Liverpool that were begging City to win the league against Liverpool. Why?
So maybe City are less relevant than you.
Since when do City fans...
Wait. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to answer you.
No, let me speak. Since when do City fans...
Why are you popping the calm down.
City fans, since when do City fans have value for money conversations? Since when?
What about City fans? What does this have to do with City fans? I don't understand. I'm talking about Arsenal and United.
Are not hated.
Are you as hated as Man United and Arsenal? Why everyone
yes, of course we are.
Okay. So Liverpool were about to get the 20th league title. Some Man United fans really wanted Liverpool to win the league over Arsenal, even though Arsenal were about to get the 14th. Why?
Yeah, but that's more geographic. That's more geographic.
Man United are in Manchester.
Yeah, but there are certain
Arsenal are in London.
Who hate Arsenal more
in London.
Yeah.
Everyone
geographic
cheering for Liverpool.
Like if you ask Saeed as an example, he's a Manc. He'll tell you he hates Liverpool and City second. He said this before.
He's a Manc. He wanted Liverpool to win the title above Arsenal.
That's not true. Can
I just say very quickly, boys? I would say this. There's a comment that came through saying Sesko is bad, Terry, and I suppose it's this side of things. you're allowed to think Sesko's bad. You haven't got to say he's good just because
Thank you.
some other. You're allowed to. The issue that you have is when you sit in the seat I do and make the content I do, and I remember so many of our viewers and their usernames. I've done this for years. Or when I stream with, Don is a great example of this. If Don doesn't like Garnacho, and then in January when Chelsea were linked to him, what do you make of the links to the Garnacho? Do you know what? I've been doing some research, and suddenly the goalpost moved. They didn't get him. So glad we missed out on that bum. Hang on, he weren't a bum 3 days ago. You found a reason why it'd be good. People do that in all different directions, and I think it's people have fatigue, where certain people will always say what Arsenal are doing is wrong. There's no objectivity, and it becomes, because I look at it this way. I don't like Liverpool, but I won't sit there and say the Wirtz deal's bad. I'm not going to do the brainless, mind-numbingly woeful, but Klopp said you never spend. I made one joke about that, I think. I've not been carrying it on for 5 weeks now because it's milked and it's boring. I think it's just very transparent. Like my own channel, Terry Fleurs TV. The same Liverpool fans are like, thank you for being so unbiased. Whenever I say something positive about Arsenal, they're like, why are you sucking Arsenal off? Can they not see the irony? It's just about being honest. And I think if you're an honest content creator, an honest person, an honest fan, there is no way you can think so consistently. A team that's been in 3 league title races on the bounce is always making bad signings and is always doing the wrong thing. You can't be where they are in the league if everything's bad. I heard an Arsenal fan say the other day, we haven't had a good transfer window in 5 years. How have you been coming second? How have you been in title races? I think it's because it's always over exaggerated by certain groups, and I think it creates a lot of noise and a lot of fatigue, and it makes it hard to have conversations. And we've just sat here and said, and we're going to get onto the news now because this is becoming a little bit, and it's kind of understated. It's becoming a little bit of a Fabrizio versus Ornstein battle. This, and I will tell you as to why. But Sesko has obviously dropped a little bit of a hint. This is according to Fabrizio. He said this. He's quote tweeted his own tweet. That again, and this is what's. When these things happen, I'm like, what do people know? What do they not? Right? What's going to happen here? Because this is so interesting for me. I love transfers. You sometimes get the Arsenal fans like Eduardo Haig. He might go, oh my God, guys, look, this player's now following us, and everyone gets excited. This is Fabrizio Romano quote tweeting saying, new social media hint by Sesko as the striker has started following Arsenal on Instagram. But he's posted that whilst quote tweeting his own tweet from the 8th of June that says, he understands that Arsenal are now advancing in negotiations for Benjamin Sesko. So is that him just using this hint as a way of pushing his own news? Or has he been told this by the player in the player's camp because they've said we're getting really close to a deal now? Equally, I made a mistake about 2 weeks ago saying that I'm really unsure what direction this is going in because Fabrizio and Ornstein had spoken about Sesko and Arsenal. It's not true. I misremembered something. He mentioned Sesko and Arsenal a year ago, Ornstein, and basically said he's staying at Leipzig. Since then, the only other striker that Ornstein has tweeted about was back in around March, where he said where he connected Arsenal and Gyokeres together. And he hasn't said a single word since. You've got the Portuguese press saying it's Gyokeres. Damasio today says it's Gyokeres, but you've got Plattenberg and you've got now Fabrizio making it sound much more likely that it's Gyokeres. I am confused, but I'm not going to lie. I love this confusion. People keep saying, oh, we need, it's not going to be a shock as in, they're in for both, but it feels a bit like you just don't quite know. You ever watch like a TV show where, I don't know, a woman's going to pick the man of her dreams and the episode ends and you don't know who she's picked and you got to wait till next week. It's a little bit like that, right? And I'm intrigued. What do you boys make of this latest update? Following Arsenal on Instagram, but Fabrizio sharing it, re-quoting his own tweet. The only thing that hasn't happened yet is the pin tweet. The pin tweet is normally a sign, but how do you boys read it?
I think Arsenal are going to get Sesko, and I absolutely love it, to be honest with you. If they get Sesko, my feet are kicked up. I'm so relaxed. I will start looking at Manchester City and Manchester City only. I start coming to the straight fact shows with my feet kicked up in the air, like just completely relaxed. You get me? Sesko would just push Arsenal absolutely nowhere. I think he's a trash signing. I don't think he's a good player at all. For me, I have two completely different opinions on Gyokeres and Sesko. I think Gyokeres helps Arsenal. I think Gyokeres makes Arsenal considerably better. I think he's an elite goal scorer. I think people are bullshitting when they say, oh my God, he scores goals in transition. Total bullshit, total lie. Never ever seen a Portuguese league game in your life. The guy has scored with his weak foot from tight spaces. The guy is a very good finisher of the football. I understand that the Portuguese league has a very bad record with strikers. However, with Gyokeres, his record is so good that it usurps that, and he scored goals in the Champions League as well, including goals against City, I believe, and goals against Arsenal. So he's a very good player. I think Gyokeres is the total opposite of Sesko. I think Gyokeres is a fantastic signing. With Sesko, I think he's an absolutely horrendous signing. I have seen it in terms of his ability isn't what Arsenal need. The truth of the matter is, everything that I say on my eye test is proven by the stats, and I showed it last week, and people will just say the same stuff over and over again, like Ian and others who just completely rattled and who hate the messenger, not the message. Sesko is an athlete, meaning Sesko is very quick, very powerful. That's it. End of discussion. That's what Sesko is. Sesko does not have a good first touch. He's not good on the football. He's not a good passer of the football. He's not good in tight spaces. He's not good in any of these things. Even when people look at Sesko, the first thing they start saying is, Sesko is 6'5". My brother, the literal goat of the sport, is a midget. The literal goat of the sport. If he was sat next to me right now, he would be reaching my knee height. That's how short he is. And
You
he's
ain't
the
that tall,
goat.
bruv. Calm down.
I'm literally 6'2", and he would be speaking to my knee. That's how short he is. That's the goat of the sport. So we're not trying to build the Arsenal Magic or the Arsenal Lakers or the Arsenal. We're building Arsenal Football Club. That's why I don't even know. Yesterday was the first time ever, because Arsenal fans rage baited me. I actually checked Florian Wirtz's height. I don't know Wirtz's height. I don't know Gyokeres' height. I don't know Frimpong's height, because I don't care. I look at their football ability. And if Sesko was an athlete who doesn't have the fundamentals of football, but is an elite goal scorer, I'd get it. But Benjamin Sesko has 13 goals in 33 Bundesliga appearances. He has less goals than Ekitike, less goals than Walter Maid, less goals than Patrick Schick, less goals than so many strikers. I don't think he's prolific enough. And I think it's going to be a signing that Arsenal die by if they do make it.